In this video, I'll be going over fuel for the Spitfire. The Spitfire has two fuel tanks, a top tank and a bottom tank. The top tank holds 45 gallons of fuel and the bottom tank holds 37 gallons. And when you're flying, the fuel that goes to the engine goes from the bottom tank, and fuel from the top tank will naturally fall into the bottom tank. The fuel gauge is here and it's for the bottom tank only. And to see how much fuel you have, you click this button. And you can see I have almost 37 gallons of fuel. And there's two bands here. The bottom band is for checking the fuel level in flight, and the top band is for when you're on the ground. So whenever your fuel is all the way full, the gauge is not going to move down for a while until that top tank empties out. And once the top tank's all the way empty, when the bottom tank starts going less and less, then this gauge will start to come down. Next is the fuel pressurization switch. If you are flying and this light turns on, which is the low fuel pressure, you can flip this switch on and it will increase the pressure of the fuel. But most of the time that doesn't happen, so you just usually always have this off. Next is the fuel master switch, which is this one. You flip it up to turn on the fuel. You basically always have this on, obviously. Next is the fuel primer pump, which is this one right here. You unscrew it to the left to unlock it, and then you can push it backward and forward to prime the fuel for engine start. Then you can turn it to the right to lock it in. You basically only use this during engine start. Next is this wobble pump here. It's a big ball, and this, whenever you pump it, it increases the pressure in the fuel line, and this is also something you use for starting up the engine. Next, we have the mixture lever. If you pull it backwards like this, then it cuts off the fuel to the engine, and if you push it forwards, then it lets fuel go to the engine. So obviously when you're flying, you'll always have it forward, and you'll only have it backward during engine start or when you're shutting down the engine. Okay, the last switch to go over with fuel is the fuel pump switch here. If you press it backwards, it's on, and forwards, it's off. Now, the actual manual doesn't talk much about this switch. However, I saw one guide that said to put it back when you start up, so that's what I always do. But also, whenever you spawn in an air start, it's off by default, and it doesn't have any problems. So I'm not sure what exactly it does, but I would just leave it on. But I don't think it even makes a difference if you have it off either. Okay, now let's go over external fuel tanks. The Spitfire can put an external fuel tank in the center belly. You can put it on by opening the rearming menu. So you click backslash on your keyboard, which is the button right under backspace. Then you click ground crew up here and you click rearm. Then if you right click on your center pylon, you can go fuel tanks. And there's two external fuel tanks here. There's the slipper tank and the torpedo tank. They both hold 45 gallons, they just have a different shape. So whenever you're flying with external fuel, basically what you do is you come here to this black lever and you click it backwards to turn on your external fuel tank. Now the thing is that whenever you do that, you want to turn your fuel lever here off to make sure that the engine is taking fuel from the external tank. Because even if you turn the external tank lever on, if this fuel lever is still on, the engine's going to take fuel from your regular fuel tank. And you want to empty out your external tank first. So make sure that this one is on and this one is off. If your regular tank runs out of gas and you want to switch back to your internal tank, you can switch this lever on and switch this lever off. And if you want to jettison your external tank, you can come to this red lever and pull it up and it will jettison it. Thanks for checking out this video. I'll see you later.